Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, then welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share my experience of taking this AWS Solution Architect Associate exam. We'll share the questions that I have got in the exam. We'll share some tips and resources that I have used to pass the certification. Okay, so without further ado, let's see our agenda for this video. First, we'll talk about the exam difficulty level, okay, because I think we have addressed a lot of myth about the certification that is going on in the cloud industry. Then we'll share the resources that I have used to pass the certification. We'll talk about the course experience as well. Then we'll see the key AWS services and important topic. I've prepared this important topic list. We'll share it with you all. And lastly, we'll share some personal tips. Okay. So before we start our video, I'd like to share that I have passed the certification like on 19th March. So I will be sharing my experience. Okay. This is going to be a raw video where I'm going to share the resources that I have used and the services that are important. Okay. So let's start off with the exam difficulty. Okay. As you guys can see, I have attached this meme here. Okay, so based on that you understand the difficulty level. This exam truly tests your understanding of different AWS services, high availability architecture, reliability, reliable solution, secure solution, resizable solution. All of these things are very important. Okay, so it is not that easy certification. And one thing that I really want to address in this video is don't fall for this 2 week preparation plan. Okay, this is not going to help because this certification truly tests your understanding of different AWS services and how to integrate those services together. Okay, on a real life scenario, okay, real time scenario. Okay, so I have lots of seniors working in cloud domain, and we are working on penetration testing projects. And I'm also working on penetration testing project. Okay, so basically they were telling me, okay, it's a piece of cake for you. Okay, you will pass the certification. Okay, but during the exam, I was like, okay, I'm gonna fail this exam. Okay, these were my thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna fail the certification because the kind of question that I've received was really different. Okay, from what I have seen in the exam, like course exam section, or what I've seen on YouTube. Okay, so make sure that you remember that this exam is not that easy. How people are saying, okay, you will pass the certification, but no, you need to actually invest like 2 to 3 months. Okay, according to me, if you ask me like how much time should we invest in the certification, I'm gonna say like give 2 to 3 months. Okay, go hands on, understand the service architecture. Uh, what are the options we have? Okay, like if you are, for example, let's talk about EC2. Okay, so make sure that you thoroughly understand what is EC2 instances. Okay, container service and everything. We'll talk about it in the upcoming slide. Then what actually helped me? Okay, like what are the resources I have used? So basically, I have actually invested in this course. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this instructor, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. This is learn.kentril.io. Okay, and this is the course. This is an updated course link. So let me click on that. This is the course I have used in my preparation. Okay, this is like Solution Architect CO3. And this guy is legit. Okay, in this field he knows everything from cloud basics to technical basics. He covered everything from scratch. Okay, like hands-on experience. Like you will get videos on Route 53, how you can register a domain, how you use different services. Okay, practical stuff. So I think $40 is worth it. Okay, I've invested in a good course. Okay, so this course I have used, and I have also used this Ryan Kroonberg course. Okay, I've purchased it on Udemy like in 2022, I guess. Okay, but I didn't watch that. So this is the only course that I have used to pass the certification. So I'm gonna just give you this heads up that the instructor is from Australia. So he has an Australian accent. So if you're comfortable with Australian accent, you guys can go ahead with this course. Okay. This course I'm going to recommend for those people who really want to be in the solution architect domain. Okay. They really want to become a solution architect, then this course is for you. Okay. And this is not a sponsor video. I genuinely like the instructor and the way he teaching stuff. Okay. Let's go back to our next slide. Yeah, white papers. Okay, white papers are essential. I have actually opened these tabs already, like the AWS well architected framework and the 6 pillars. You know, the operational excellence pillar, security pillar, reliability pillar. Like you have to read this. Okay, like optimization and security, reliability pillar. Okay, like these three are must: security pillar, cost optimization, and reliability. If you have time, you can obviously go for operational excellence, performance efficiency, and sustainability. Okay, no doubt I'm recommending all 6 of them. Okay, and also this one, disaster recovery. This is a 40-page white paper. Okay, so you will get a lot of details from this white paper. You will understand lots of different terminology. Okay, that is really relevant to the exam. Okay, so these are the resources that I have used, and we'll put these links in a description box. Okay, let's talk about the next topic. Yeah, these are the important. Okay, well architected framework, disaster recovery, security, and the cost optimization. Okay, so before I'm going to give you the list of these services, I'm going to say one thing, that these services are important. Okay, like you have to read about it, you have to know everything about it. Okay, it is not limited. Okay, you have to know everything that is included in the in scope section of the exam guide. Okay, so first section is global services like CloudFront, Route 53, and Global Accelerator. Okay, when you are going to use CloudFront, and when you are going to use Global Accelerator. Okay, Route 53, everything related to Route 53, how you can integrate Route 53 with CloudFront, Route 53 with different services. Okay, integration of different services is very important, because this is something that I have seen in the exam, that they will ask you questions uh, in a they will ask you question in a way that you have to think like a solution architect. Okay, like they can integrate different AWS services. Okay, and the question options will be the same. Okay, very confusing. Okay, storage service like S3 Glacier, Deep Archive, Intelligent Tiering, AWS Snow Family, EBS, EFS, Luster, Amazon Luster. Like you have to understand. Then we have compute service like EC2, ELB, and auto scaling groups. Okay, and these services will come in combination. Okay, like the web application is running on EC2 instance that is behind the load balancer. Okay, so you will get questions in a combination of these services like EC2 with ELB and with database. Okay, so these are very important, and we'll share the topics as well. Okay, the important topic list. Container services, ESK, like Elastic Container Service, everything. Okay, from registry to container, everything. Okay, Elastic Kubernetes Service, like I have got two questions, like two questions on containers. Okay, two questions on container service, one question on EKS. Then we have databases. Okay, the relational databases, sorry, RDS, that is relational database service, DynamoDB, Aurora, Redshift, Elastic Cache, and read replicas. Okay, read replicas and Elastic Cache are important. Okay, then we have networking related services like VPC, all the VPC. Okay, in and out of VPC. You have to understand subnetting, CIDR ranges, security group, NACLs, internet gateway, everything. Okay, related to networking, and the basic concept that is related to networking, like computer networking, like the public IP addresses, private IP addresses, as well as the record types like A record, 4A record, like A record, uh, MS record, CNAME record, and why we use these record. Okay, NS records. So these are the very important theory. Okay, that will come in handy in the exam. Okay, I've got this question, just one question on CIDR ranges, not CIDR ranges, but subnetting. Okay, I have to select the correct subnet for this VPC. So make sure that you understand CIDR ranges and subnetting really well. You have to know like how to perform subnetting. Okay, it will come handy in exam. Then we have microservices. These services are important for event-driven architecture or a loose coupled architecture. Okay, loose coupling or decoupled architecture like SQS, SNS, Kinesis, Lambda, API gateway. So these services are very important, and make sure that you understand the difference between SQS and SNS, because you will get scenarios where you will get confused. Like, should I go ahead with SQS or should I go ahead with SNS? Okay. API gateway, very important. The types of API gateway we have, like APIs we have, like REST API is important. Security services. Oh my God, this is very important. Okay, like my first question was related to SCP, like the service control policies. Okay, that is related to AWS organization. Okay, so IAM service is important, identity and access management. IAM policies, like both identity policies and a resource policies, like when you are going to use resource policies, and the legit structure of the IAM policy. Okay, how you can identify the policy, like the resource policy or identity policy. Okay, the inline policies are also important. SCP, as I've said earlier, like service control policy. These are the security services like Amazon Macy Inspector. This is a vulnerability assessment service. Okay, WAF. WAF is like integration of WAF is important. Okay, like how you are going to integrate WAF with Route 53, different scenarios. Okay, WAF can be integrated with elastic load balancer as well. Okay, so make sure that you go ahead and read about these services, like integration of these services. Okay, Amazon Guard Duty is a threat intelligence service. Then AWS Shield, like when both of them, okay, both of the type, like standard shield and advanced shield, and what are the benefit you are receiving in advanced shield and when you are going to use standard shield. Okay, and how you are integrated, integrating this service with WAF. Okay, that is web application firewall. Encryption is important, both server side and client side encryption. I've got three questions. Okay, the answers were KMS, S3 encryption, and client side encryption based on that particular scenario. Okay, I have to select different encryption options were there. The KMS were there, S3 encryption were there, the client side encryption were there. Okay, so I have to use the correct option. Okay, based on the cryptographic operation or based on the scenario. Okay. Okay, so these are the security services. Then we have monitoring and logging services. I've got questions on each of these services, like CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and Cloud config rules. Okay, obviously it is integrated with different scenarios, but make sure that you remember and understand these services really well. Okay. Okay, let's talk about the important topics. Let me share the important topics. Okay, the AWS Solution Architect, important topics. Okay, so let me close these tabs. Okay, EC2 instance is very important. Okay, in the certification, like types of EC2 instances we have, like general purpose, compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized. Pricing options are important. I've got one question on this, like on demand, reserve instances, spot instances. It is cheapest, but it is interruptible. Okay, interruptible workload. So you can go ahead with spot instance. Reserved instances reserved for 1 or 3 years. So you will get, you know, different types of, reserve instance. We have two types: standard reserve and convertible reserve. Okay, so when you are going to use that, make sure that you understand that, like cost effective solution. Choose instance type based on workload. Okay, you have to understand that. Okay, you have to learn the theory of EC2 instances. Okay, then S3 storage. Learn everything that is included in S3 service. Okay, like types of storage we have, S3 replication, cross region replication, same region replication, when you are going to perform cross region and when you are going to perform same region. Versioning is important. S3 lifecycle is important. One thing is also important in S3, that is S3 Glacier. S3 Glacier, let me show you. Like, this was really new for me. Okay, let me show you where. Yeah, like this, the types of S3 Glacier, like Glacier instance retrieval, flexible retrieval, and deep Glacier deep archive. Okay, make sure to understand like when you are going to use these three services. Okay, in what scenario. So these are very important. I forget to include this here. We'll updating. Okay, I'm updating this document and we'll share the updated document. Okay. Moving on, S3 storage services. Okay, EBS is important. Types of EBS volumes we have: general purpose, provisioned IOPS, SSD, and you have to remember these points. Okay, IO1 and IO2, throughput optimize, hard disk, ST1, cold hard disk, that is SC1. You have to remember these. Okay, and we'll share my notes. I have actually written notes in my register. You guys can see it is half filled. Okay, so everything is here. Okay, everything is here. So we'll share the picture of this important list of types of EBS volumes and when we are going to use them, because that is really, really important. Okay, that figure is really important, the numbers. Okay, and make sure that you understand what is IOPS and throughput, because you will get questions on that part as well. Instant store, for temporary storage, we all know it is directly attached to EC2 instances. Okay, uh, you will get these things, you will get all of these in an option. Okay, like in the particular scenario, which is the correct option. Okay, instant store is the correct option, or provision IOPS SSD, or general purpose SSD. So make sure that you understand the what GP2 is providing and GP3 is providing, what kind of IOPS and throughput is there. Okay, and it's a fixed number. Then we have EFS, that is elastic file system, FSX, like the Lustre workload and everything. And you have to remember these. Okay, you have to understand these are the storage services we have, like the block storage services and file storage services. Then in networking, I'm updating this list. Like you will get questions on this part, that DDoS attack. Okay, or you want to give permission to this particular, like team A, but you don't allow team B to access the same particular resource that is hosted on EC2 instance. Okay, so are you going to use security group or NACL? So in that question, they will ask your understanding, like inbound traffic or outbound traffic. And route tables are also important in this. Route tables, internet gateway, NAT gateway, and yes, VPC flow logs. Okay, these are very important. Let's talk about the IAM security. Okay, why it's stuck? I'm sorry. Yeah, the service control policies, as I've mentioned earlier, it is very important. Resource policies, identity policy, KMS, that is key management service, secrets manager, system manager, and parameter store. And what is the difference between secret manager and a parameter store, and when you are going to use them? Okay, because lots of people will get confused with these services. Okay, and when you have securely stored and managed secrets like password and API, uh, parameter store is also used. Okay, in the same for the same scenario. Okay, for the same use case. But if in secret manager we rotate key. Okay, secret manager has this extra capabilities, like we can rotate our keys, we can do that, but in parameter store we can't do that. Okay, so these are the ways you can remember stuff, right? Then WAF shield, I've already shared these things. Okay, I've already shared these services with you. It should be Amazon Macy, not AWS Macy. Like it uses machine learning to detect sensitive data, like personally identifiable information. Okay, inline policy we have seen. Policy restrictions, like the least privilege principle, make sure that you remember this point. We always go ahead with least privilege access, okay, in our AWS environment, okay. Types of encryption, both at rest, in transit, and client side. And I think I'm missing one more service here, that is, I think, AWS Certificate Manager. Okay, I have to include that as well because I've got questions on that part as well. Like AWS Certificate Manager was integrated with this Route 53 service. Okay, I forget the scenario, but I'll try to, use ChatGPT, just give the prompt and maybe I'll get the same questions from ChatGPT. Okay. Container services, we have already discussed. Elastic Container Service, Kubernetes service, everything. Okay. Then monitoring service, we have seen, CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and Cloud Config. Sorry, AWS Config rules. Okay, the what is compliant, non-compliant rules. Route 53, like CloudFront Global Accelerator. Databases we have already seen. Make sure that you also learn the document DB and Neptune or Neptune. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but these are also there in option. Okay. Storage gateway, like what is storage gateway and types of storage gateway. I think I've got, I think, three questions, 3 to 4 questions on this part. Storage gateway, like tape gateway, Amazon S3 file gateway, this FSX file system, volume gateway. I've got 3 questions on this storage gateway, and it was really, confusing for me at that time because I didn't cover that in the course. Okay, from the course I didn't cover this topic. I've just read it online. Okay, load balancing and disaster recovery. ELB for sure, like types of ELB, like application load balancer, network load balancer, and understand, it's a layer 7 ELB. It's a layer 4 ELB. Okay, and we also have gateway load balancer. I forget to add that. Gateway load balancer. Yes, this one. This was also the in the question. Okay, this was also the answer for the question. I remember that. Deploy third-party virtual appliances faster. When you have uh, what do we say, firewalls. Okay, different firewalls from AWS partner or in the AWS marketplace, you can place this. And I think it's a layer 3 ELB. Okay. Yeah, it's a layer 3 ELB. This is something that I have written here. Okay, that's why I remember that. So yeah, we'll add that in this document. Auto scaling group. Very important are the policies of this auto scaling group, like the target tracking, step scaling, scheduled scaling. These are the very important. Okay, when you are going to use which auto scaling policy. Okay, and it will be in the combination. Okay, it will be in a combination of the like architecture wise and the security wise. It will be in a combination, and they will ask you like which auto scaling policy you will use. Okay, and I'm also forgetting auto scaling. I'm also forgetting one more important topic. Okay, yeah, this one, the placement strategies for your placement groups. Okay, these things are important. I'm sorry, I'm still updating this list. I've just clicked in my head that okay, I'm forgetting something because in my mind I have this because in my mind I have this, cluster placement group, partition placement group, spread placement group. So this topic is also important. Okay, we'll update this list. Okay, and we'll share it. And these are the strategies that you have to be aware of, that disaster recovery strategies: backup and restore, pilot light, warm stand up, multi-site. Okay, very important. Like active standby and active passive standby. These are the terminology, and you will get these information from this white paper. Okay, like this 40 pages are very important. Okay, so you will get all of these strategies in depth from this white paper. Okay, and AWS backup service, very important, and the Snow family. Uh, just go ahead with Snowball and Snowmobile, because in my question I have to, I still remember that use case. Like we have to send a very huge amount of data from on premises to the cloud. Okay, and the correct option was Snowball. Okay, so these are the important topics. Okay, and we'll update this list and we'll correct all those things. Okay, we'll share this. So right now, I'm planning to digitize my notes, but it will take some time. As you guys can see, it's half filled. Okay, it is half filled, so will take some time. Okay, because in this register, I have also covered the networking basic as well. Okay, from the Cisco perspective. Okay, like all these private IP address, public IP address. Okay, and make sure that you in the VPC you understand like what are the 5 reserved IP addresses we have. Okay, and which services are using those IP addresses, reserved IP addresses. Okay, so these are the important topics, and let's go ahead with the tips that I have for you. Okay, and I have very basic tips for you. Like my tip number 1 is to read, take notes, and revise, because revision is very, very important, because we have to, I think, cover like 50 to 60 services. Okay, like 50 plus services for this exam, and we have to understand lots of technical details. So read and take notes. Okay, notes are important, as you guys can see here. Okay, that's why I'm stressing this point. Make sure you are taking your notes like in your language. Okay, that language you understand. Okay, you guys can go ahead with Hindi as well. Okay, if you understand, if you just remember the stuff that in that way. Revision is important. Okay, and one more advice, don't just rely on courses. Okay, only on courses. Yes, courses are great way to have the clear understanding of what will be come in exam, but don't uh, only rely on those. Okay, go ahead with white papers, AWS documentation, Medium blogs as well. I have to read these Medium blogs. CloudFront versus Global Accelerator, Read Replica versus Elastic Cache. Okay, when you are going to use them. Okay, different, confusing AWS services. You can go ahead with Medium blogs. Okay, lots of people, they have shared amazing blogs. Not just Medium, but on different platforms. On LinkedIn, people already shared lots of strategies. Okay, I have also read how customers are actually using AWS services in their organization. Okay, how they are actually integrating different services together. Okay, so you guys can go ahead with that as well if you have time. Second tip is to learn concept thoroughly. Okay, as I've said earlier, this certification really tests your understanding of different AWS services. So make sure you think like a solution architect and focus on the real world scenario. Okay. Last advice is don't waste your time on watching exam videos on YouTube. Okay. First, it is outdated, like 2 to 3 years old. Okay. They are not updated with the current syllabus. They're not updated with anything, to be honest. And second, it's too basics. Okay, not even close to the real exam, right? So don't waste your time and energy on these resources that is available on YouTube, freely available on YouTube. Okay, so because I have actually watched 10 to 12 videos. Okay, and I was hoping that okay, I'll get the not similar questions, but I will get the question. Okay, like the concept of the question. Okay, but in reality it is totally different. Okay, so make sure that you remember this point. that because in these questions, okay, all the questions that is available on YouTube, they are focusing on only one particular concept, okay, one AWS service. But in the exam, they will ask you different AWS services, okay, it's integrated together. So this is my advice: don't waste your time on watching these videos, okay. So yeah, this is something that I have planned for this video, okay, and we'll share this document with you. But remember this, guys, I'm providing this document just for you to go through all of these points thoroughly, okay, effectively, thoroughly understand the concept really well, okay. That's why I'm providing this document. I'm not claiming anything, okay, like you will pass the certification with 100% marks, okay, you will get 800 marks or 900 marks. I'm just putting this thing out. I'm just making this video just to help people, okay, and just to give the updated information, okay. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. And if you have any questions related to this certification and related to this course, then please let me know in the comment section. And you guys can also reach out to me on LinkedIn, okay, because I'm more active on LinkedIn. So yeah, just share this video with your friends and your colleagues who are actually preparing for this certification. And make sure that you guys are subscribing to my YouTube channel, because I'm planning to share some cool stuff on this part, because lots of things I have learned. So I really want to share my knowledge with you. So make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and keep learning. Bye bye.